Well, Pete and Paul make yet another tour chance at the first one this season, and I think we were here the last time we played Spurs. So, this is going to be interesting. So, just lost 1-0, or lost again. To be honest, I mean, if I think we were saying during the game, I'd be pretty worried, Tottenham fans, if there's any watching this, because you missed a catalogue of chances to actually bury this game. But while the positives, at least we kind of stayed in it this time.
I don't think there is any positives, to be honest.
Well, it's 1-0 compared to 3-0, so at least it's...
Yeah, but watching that, there isn't a positive from that game, unfortunately.
What makes you say that?
They offered absolutely nothing going forward. Pino wasted a good chance. And defensively, yeah, it was only 1-0, but I mean, Michael's just hit the nail on the head. How many chances did Spurs miss? I mean, obviously the goal, Manquillo let the ball come in too easily, and then Delaboji, I mean, his positional sense, Moyes is spot on with him. His positional sense is absolutely shocking. And as for Denier, I mean, Jesus.
Be warned, guys, Pete, this is the Pete versus Denier show, because he was going to lay into this guy. So.
Jesus Christ. If I thought Billy Jones was bad, I've never seen anything like this guy in all my life. I mean, time and time again, I could see Sutton was going to take the ball down the wing. He never cuts inside. And Denier just kept getting beat time after time after time. And obviously, in the other side, let us down at the end with a stupid foul and back chatting the referee. So, no, it was a horrible day at the office, to be honest.
To be honest, I think with the whole Denier thing, though, but bearing in mind, is he naturally a full-back position?
Well, he can play right back, apparently.
He can, but he hasn't trained there. With this.
I think he played there for Belgium quite a bit.
Possibly, but he hasn't trained there with this team, and he had to change right at the last minute. And I don't know. I think it's early to say that Denier is absolutely garbage. I mean, he didn't have a good game.
Don't get me wrong. We learned from Kirchhoff last year at Tottenham, and everyone said this. And look how
good.
Spurs,
funnily enough.
But I mean, Denier. The worst thing today was Son and Hodley had the ball, but when we did get the ball, we couldn't do the basics right. We give the ball away all the time, and like Moe said, it's vital you do the basics right, because in this league you'll get punished. Tottenham didn't punish us today, thankfully, but yeah, we didn't do the basics right, and it's not good enough, to be honest.
What about you, Paul? What do you think?
Because I could say the same as you do, really.
There's nothing more to say than that. It was absolutely shocking.
I'm devastated, to be honest.
I look at our team in future games, and I wonder, like, you had Cattermole and then Donald Kirchhoff, the heart's back, like the spine of the team's back, but at the same time, where's the creativity? I mean, there isn't any.
In fairness, I don't think we were going to create many chances against Spurs, though. I think especially Spurs away. You knew this was going to be a game they're going to have a lot of the ball and dominate it completely.
Every game I've watched this
season, sadly they did that.
Man City's the only game I think we've looked like doing something. And that was Manchester City, do you know what I mean? And even that we did not do much. So,
since Spurs lost during the week as well.
Yeah, well, it didn't really matter in the end. The thing that just annoyed me was that the constant mistakes we kept making at the back, time and time again. I mean, come on, it's not like these are just Sunday league players. They're professional Premier League footballers. How do they not know how to do the basic things right? You know, there was a couple of times that when we were in defence, we kept on just trying to pass it out from the back or trying to be fancy with it in our own half instead of just clearing the ball.
I'm not going to say we will go down or we will stay up. Normally, I always say, we'll stay up, and I'm normally right, obviously, as it's proved over the last few seasons, but I ain't sure. I'm really, really not sure, because I look at that team, and you think, well, some teams can attack, some teams can defend. Well, we cannot do neither, unfortunately. I mean, I know that's harsh, but we cannot do the basics right. We always shoot ourselves in the foot. 0-0 a day. Yes, Tottenham are all over us, but a mistake again. And going forward, we didn't look like scoring. Even when we got ourselves into a good position, we didn't look like scoring. And unfortunately, I think Defoe needs a target man to play alongside. And it needs to be, everyone think, it needs to be, but at the end of the day, he probably will hold the ball up well with Defoe, and Defoe needs a player like that to play alongside.
That being said, though, Defoe's attitude today I thought was pretty poor.
It was poor, yeah.
I thought there was a couple of times...
He didn't get any service, but it was poor.
Yeah, but it's not an excuse, though. The fact that a couple of times he ran in the second half, and I think, who was it who tried to play the ball through? Was it Watmore or Januzaj? There was one of the two of them tried to play a ball through, and Defoe had bothered to try and make a basic run. He could have gone through and maybe had a chance with him, but...
And Pickford was absolutely superb, by the way.
Yeah, he played easily, because he prevented it being 3-4. The only one positive I can think of is that it doesn't damage our goal difference any more than what it has been already.
Well, look,
that's the least. But the problem is, again, when we go this is the problem I've got. When we go behind, when do we ever get anything? Every time we go behind, it's always we end up getting beat. We can't ever just come from behind and then snatch a point or come from behind a win. We've always got to get beat when we concede first. It's annoying.
Some people say at this stage of the season there's no such thing as must-win games, but Crystal Palace and West Brom are must-win games. I'm not saying if we lose both of them, we're down, of course we're not, but by God, we have to win them two games. We have to. Every other team in the league, bar Stoke, have won. I mean, Hull, Burnley.
How much longer is Stoke going to go without getting a win either?
You know, I actually don't see where our next win's coming from.
Well, Palace and West Brom should be the answers, really, but at the same time, Palace. The thing is against Palace, they're going to come and sit back though. Maybe sit back's a bit much, but they're not going to be they're not going to be as attacking as what Spurs were. They're not going to have all of the ball. Palace will probably try and sit back and just say, "All right, then go on, son. You can have the ball, but we've got the pace to pick it off." Everton showed it when for the first. I don't think I mentioned this in my review, but of the Everton game. But when we went forward against Everton, right before Everton scored their first goal, we threw 10 players forward without being aware of that you've only got Delafeu and Balassi, and both are quick as days. And then look what they've got. And Palace got Townsend, Punchin, Zaha.
Wickman.
Sorry, Zaha. Well, Wickham's not exactly that slow, but even then he'll probably have a good game against us. And you got Bakary Sacco as well. What have they got? Pace. And we struggle with it. And the thing is, our back four's not slow.
I mean,
you can maybe say whatever you want about the back four, but I'm sorry, it's not slow.
I mean, in terms of looking forward, I mean, it's not like Sunderland were encouraging it. Do anything? Oh well, we can take this from it. I mean, against Crystal Palace, I honestly do fear for Sunderland. I mean, the speed that Crystal Palace have got in that team, and the lack of we don't have any, not enough.
And their sudden run of form as well. Now suddenly back-to-back wins. It just goes to show you how much 2 wins makes a difference.
I wouldn't be surprised if Crystal Palace was Everton all over again, and I mean that.
What, you mean we're being it for the first 60 minutes and then not bother and not try afterwards?
The scoreline. I mean,
we've never beaten Palace at home since they've come up.
We're in big trouble.
The thing is, right, if these two feel we're not good enough, then fair enough. But I just don't like it when we lose a game, everyone says automatically points. Oh, lost a game, not good enough to stay in the league. And it's like, well, no.
I think we're good. I'm not saying we're not good enough to stay in the league, but in terms of we're definitely going to be in a relegation battle. Jesus Christ.
Well, we knew that at the start of the season. I knew straight. I knew as soon as the transfer window finished, like, yeah, we're probably going to be in a relegation fight because we're having.
Let's assess the players we brought in, right? Manquillo looks to be a good addition, to be fair. Obviously, Inichbe hasn't played yet, and Dong, he's only played once, but yeah, he done all right today.
I thought Ndong had a decent game. I think Dillaboji as well. Don't get us wrong, he's naive. He is very naive in terms of playing the Premier League.
It's very worrying. You spent that kind of money on him, and he kind of do the basics right. Denayer kind of do the basics right. I mean, who else did we sign?
Pino,
free. He does all right. Januzaj. What about Januzaj? What has Januzaj done? So every player we brought in hasn't done anything for me yet. Not one of them. Manquillo's the only bright spot.
I will slightly defend Dillaboji in that. I mean, we've spent 8 million on him, fair enough, but I think I was on the Wise Men Say podcast on last week or so, or whenever you're watching this. I was on basically recently, and Graham Anderson, the former journalist at the Sun Echo, made a good point about Dillaboji. Dillaboji was meant to be signed in as the long-term replacement for Kabul. David Moyes didn't anticipate Kabul leaving. Now, at the same time, I'm not going to defend Dillaboji and say that, he doesn't know how to defend, because I think he does. But the fact is, he's played in the Bundesliga for most of his career, and and if you take out Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, possibly Schalke, what's the standard like in the rest of that division? It's probably not very good. No. The Premier League's going to be a lot more physical, it's a lot more aggressive, more brutal, physical battles all over the place. So I think Dillaboji needs time to adapt to that. So I'm not going to buy this, he's 27 years old but doesn't know how to defend. Well, he's never played in the Premier League before. For God's sake, you can't just say after 2 games, he doesn't know how to defend, he must be a big waste of money. I'm not having that for 1 second. As for Januzaj, there's something about him. It's just like his debut against Sunderland, ironically, does well enough. But the problem I've got with Januzaj is that he's technically a good player, but when he goes forward, he just backs off someone or just gets out muscled or just loses the ball easy. It's like, well, where's your physical? Stand up to them, try and get past them. It's like he doesn't do it.
I definitely don't think we're the worst team in the league, but
no, I don't. We're definitely not the worst team in the league.
We're not far from it. But to be fair, honestly, I mean, Crystal Palace, West Brom, you would expect points from that, but I'm saying it. I really don't see it.
Well, it depends. We might get points. We might get 2 draws. And even then, that's not really good enough, is it? So, I mean, we're already 3 points adrift of 17, which I mean is still within 2 results that can be overturned. But
there's 3 players in that team who are consistently very good, and that's Corney, Kershaw, and Defoe. But you're not going to stay up with 3 good players. Everyone else needs to, like I say, the basics right. You need to do the basics right. And Van Aanholt didn't play today, but in a way I'm glad he didn't play today because yes, he's a threat going forward, but defensively he's suspect as well. We've got far too many mistakes in that team and far too many players that are inconsistent. That at the end of the season, that could be the difference between what league we're playing in next season.
Possibly, but I don't know. I think in fairness, right, if you look at the only possible I can think of is that out of the next 7 games, and I was looking at this before the Spurs game, so out of the next 7 you've got Palace, West Brom, Stoke, West Ham, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Hull. Now, I'm sorry, now I don't care if people are going to say, oh, still not good as any of those teams. I think we're Stoke and West, I mean, I know Stoke are bottom, but I personally think Stoke and West Ham are better than Sunderland. But the rest of them, but even then, 6 out of the next 7 for me are winnable. 6 out of the next 7 of them are pointable. We should be getting points from those teams, really.
You know what, we could be talking this time next week, saying, oh, good win against Crystal Palace. We should probably beat West Brom, but it don't work like that. I mean, every game is different, and a lot can happen in a week, but nah.
But Palace have got the pace, and West Brom, every time Tony Peters sets up here for a draw, we can never just beat him.
Well, West Brom proved they can score goals, haven't they?
In fairness, that's probably because West Ham are all over the place defensively.
Yeah.
And I know we're not much better than that, but West Brom at that point we're at home as well. I think Pulis will set up at Sunderland to probably try and hit us with a set piece, and then if that works or not, then sit back for the rest of the game.
I mean, we can. Everyone probably think, for people who didn't watch this game, more than likely think, Sunderland must have defended well. You've seen the goal, it was unlucky. No, put another one in front of the one they already scored, then that probably would have been a fair result. But no, honestly, I mean,
no, Spurs deserve to win quite comfortably, but like I said, they only won 1-0 because of the fact they were so wasteful in front of goal every time they went for it. Although in fairness, first half, mind you, I thought first half
Pino's miss was
but even a lot of Spurs shots were like from 20-25 yards and didn't really do very much.
I don't know. Obviously Eric Dyer missed a very good chance.
Second half, they turned the screw on though.
Pickford made some very good saves, but
But it just makes you actually, to be honest, even if Pino's chance, even if Pino's chance had gone in, though, would you have been confident of winning?
No, I mean,
we probably still would have found a way to lose it. So at least we didn't have the hope of thinking, we might get our first win. Oh no, we'll screw you over again.
The worrying thing is normally when we get beat, after we got beat against Everton, I'm normally like, I know, we should for future games we should adopt this playing style. We should adopt this playing style. But honestly, I really don't have a clue where the team goes from here, because every player that steps in normally do a job. But Love came in, didn't do a job. Denies came in, hasn't done a job. So you'd think with adrenaline they would play well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very early days. You can't judge anyone after one game. But
I'm glad you've just said it, because I was actually going to make that point. I think people need to stop just looking at them because of one bad game and then all of a sudden assume that they're absolute rubbish.
But I keep saying this point. It's worrying when you kind of do the basics right, and we couldn't string 4 or 5 passes together a day every time we got the ball.
You see, there was one time, like in the 87th minute or whatever, we were stretching. We should have been going for it to try and get 1-0, and then we made a pass from our own defensive third, and then we were trying to find, was it Watmore, and it just bounced out for a throw. It's like, well, no, I'm sorry.
Moyes had the right. In terms of the way Moyes.
I'd agree with that.
He probably did actually set up right. I mean, he had the 3 in the middle, and I think the back 4 haven't had the protection they've needed in previous games. But to be fair, they done all right today. But I thought it was the full backs that I thought Manquillo had a decent game. But I thought Denier. I mean, Son. Son will be dreaming about playing Denier every week.
Jesus, yes.
God. Well, I mean, Thierry Henry is obviously the Belgium assistant now, and he was at White Hart Lane today. And if Roberto Martinez asked, how did Denier play? Well, he won't be getting in the Belgium team. He won't even be getting in the underrated Belgium team anytime soon, let alone the first team. Jesus Christ.
Well, I guess this has been going on for about 13 minutes, so let's try and wrap this up a bit. So,
what would you change for next week? Personally, John O'Shea.
What would I change for next week? The result.
John O'Shea straight back in. Manquillo back at the right and
we need some organisation at the back. The thing is, I think Delaborgi with Coney should in theory work as a good partnership, because I think Delaborgi and Coney are similar type of players, although Coney's big, more muscly build.
You've hit a good point there. I think Delaborgi needs a game out, like a league game out, and he needs to watch O'Shea. And don't get me wrong, O'Shea might be past it, but he needs to watch O'Shea.
Sorry to interrupt you. You know which game I'd play O'Shea in? West Brom. Now I know you're going to think Palace, but one thing Palace will target if O'Shea plays: lack of pace.
I know, but if you've got the protection of Catmull,
I know. I mean, it could work both ways or either way, but.
But Delaborgi needs to watch a player who positionally is excellent.
But in principle, Delaborgi and Coney are similar players, aren't they?
Well, one can defend and one can't.
Well, one so far has proven he can't defend. I think there's a player, like I keep saying, there's a player in there. We just need to get it out of him. So, come on. We spent 8 million on him. So there's clearly something there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have spent 8 million on him. The fact, there is a player in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have parted with that sort of money.
Look, just for a bit of fun for the viewers. Look. Obviously, we can come back to this at the end of the season. Anything can happen in the window. But looking at it right now, where will you say we'll finish? Very hard to say.
It's hard.
I said 14th at the start of the season. I'd probably say 16th.
I'm going to say annual 17th. Or possibly even 18th. I'm not sure. One of the two. 17th because it's Sunderland.
16 because I think there are teams who are worse than us, and it annoys me when
But
people
Sunderland,
don't.
that's no credit to you, by the way. That's no credit to you at all.
In fairness, though, Moyes did say this was going to be a long process.
I didn't think it'd be this. I didn't think it would have been this start though. I mean,
Well, did it? Well, yeah, Man City, Everton, Spurs. That's not easy games. In fairness, I mean Middlesbrough, you could.
Everton who we beat last season, Southampton we drew with them. And who else?
Well, Everton we beat because Martinez had lost the players. It was always going to be a lot harder this time to play Everton.
I think we'll learn a lot over the next 2 games.
You know, I think we'll learn a lot. In 2 weeks' time, we'll know. Probably.
Tottenham deserve to win anyway.
Definitely.
Typically, the Tottenham. That's the thing. We never see Tottenham. Why do you always cock up against Newcastle, but you always seem to do well against us? It's really, really annoying. But that being said, I mean, if I answer the question, I would say probably 60. I mean, Moyes said this was going to be a long process, so I don't think people should say, "Oh God, Moyes is terrible after 5 games where we've had 1 point."
Give him a chance.
Well, exactly. I'm fed up with sacking managers and then going on for another one. You know, and if Ellis Short apparently wanted Short last 5 times that he's appointed a manager, he's not going to get rid of him like this.
He's probably going to say that though, won't he?
Well, even so, would he have come out and said it if he didn't mean it? It might have been, maybe it's a PR stunt, I don't know, but it could have been the case. Oh, God. All right, then. Well, like I said, I think Moyes, I think, is the right man for it, but we need to give him time. So any Sunderland fans saying Moyes out straight away, just get lost. I'm sick of this. I'm fed up with people demanding the manager's head after 5 games. And let's not forget, like I said, now we've got a run of games, bar Arsenal, a run of games where we should be picking points up from, really. Because I don't think we're a bad side.
But don't hold your breath.
Yeah, this is Sunderland, but...
That's the
thing, why is it Sunderland? So for God's sake. We never just get a win, can we?
Well, I was going to say on Moyes law, Moyes did actually say that a lot of managers has been at Sunderland, which they have. And, well, we need to give Moyes a chance. I know he wants to stay here as long as the contract
but he still needs a chance, that doesn't. You can't just expect him to fill 4 years long of process in one season.
When he says he wants to do what he done at Everton, you're not going to do that without money. No way.
Ella Short, hint, hint. Anyway.
If he's listening.
Yeah, if he somehow is. Anyway, guys, well, thanks to Pete and Paul for going on. Actually, they kind of wanted to come on, so it was quite interesting.
Thanks, Rafa.
Rafa, get lost. For those of you who don't know, we did a video with Craig from True Mackham. We did True Mackham at the end of last season, where basically we had a nice cream van go past Paul's house, and it was we took the mick that it was Rafa Benitez. So Rafa, get lost.
Can I just say that driver's name is called Jaffa?
Jaffa Cake. Jaffa the Rapper.
Wrap it up.
Right. Well, at least it could be worse. I'd rather lose away at Tottenham than home to Wolves. So, I'll see you guys later then. Take care then.
See you later.
See ya.
That was a